Alright, our problem today is malfunctioning reversing lights on my 2006 Ford Focus. I've already checked the bulbs and the fuse, and that's not it. So the reverse switch is a well-known problem on these cars. First things first, we're going to remove the battery. In order to do that, we'll have to hit this and that. We'll take off the top and get the other one off. These are 10 millimeter bolts. Good. Next step is to get that, and this one too off. Okay, so these are 13 millimeter bolts. Alright, so we'll use a ratchet for that. Okay, so now it's loose. We should be able to lift the whole thing out. We'll just get the cables out over here. Okay, so we'll just finagle those out. And voila. So, now we will need to jack up the bottom of the transmission to make sure the engine doesn't fall out when we remove these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts. That's a 22 millimeter. And let's see, anything else? No, that looks about right. This one here as well. And possibly these here. Not sure yet. Sometimes you have to delve down a bit before you see which ones are required. And what we'll want to do, have a block of wood on our jack, and it's going to go pretty hard to see from here. It's gonna go down there. Okay, so whereas the last set of bolts was 13 millimeters, these ones are 15. And the big guy in the middle is going to be 22 millimeters. Now we should be able to lift that cover plate off. Just like that. And back to our 10 millimeter for this one. Good. Now, so we're back to this side again, which is what I thought. Or just by jiggling a little bit, I think all I have to do is undo this one in there. So that's exactly what we'll do. I found a 10 millimeter. Okay, now what I did to make this a little bit easier is I disconnected this guy here so that this would be easier to tilt up. You may want to consider doing the same. Alright, this is probably the toughest part of the repair. Getting this plate out of the way. We're anchored almost everywhere. So in the end, I pried this one connector out, and I'm hoping that what that will allow me to do is enough freedom to move the plate out of the way. Okay, so I also had to undo this guy, and now I've taken the whole thing and bungee corded it to the front of the car just to keep it clear. And now, see if we can move him aside a little bit. We can see our culprit. He's hidden down where my finger is. That is what we need to get out. So first we wiggle that harness loose that's on top, and then we're going to take the 22mm socket and get our switch. Okay, so look, there he is. Hopefully that comes across. That's the one. And now we move that aside, and you can see the socket that we need to remove. Now, since that guy is in there so deep, it helps to have the 22mm and then a bunch of extensions. It shouldn't be in there too tight. Just put it down. Shouldn't be, I say. Okay, and that should be all it takes. And now we should be able to pull it out by hand. If I can get my fingers down there. The top of the cable. There we go. And there it is. That's the guy that we're looking for. Okay, so that's the old one. Here's the replacement from Ford. $24, taxes included, from the Ford dealership. Dealer code A1075. That's in Canada. I believe it goes by the Motorcraft code of MISW6492. Alright, so we just hooked that guy up. Alright, so now we're just going to snug her down, not too tight. Good. Next first, don't forget the cable. Be a shame if we put everything together only to discover we had forgotten to hook up the cable again. We'll ease this back in. I'm going to need both hands for this. Alright, got that one hooked up again. This, and then this cable. Alright, we'll just tighten this down. Okay. Next, we'll do this 10mm one here. Okay. So we'll just hand tighten that. There. Next, we'll do the big boys here, and the big guy. And to do that, I need to put this back on, just like so. Now there was a piece of foam. Huh. Looks a little chewed up already, doesn't it? Well, anyways, this should be alright. Only goes one way. There's no worry about putting it on the wrong way. And put the big nut in the middle, and then the smaller guys on the outside. That'll do it, and we'll do these. And I'll do the other ones with 2 hands. Okay, that's looking alright. Now, we'll put the battery tray back. Alright, and now we're just tightening down that last guy. And last not least, button this up. Good. Alright, we got everything. No screws left, that's always a good sign. And voila! Beautiful. The job here is done. Looks like the radio got reset. And we disconnected the battery. But it's all good. Well, that's it. So, all in all, it probably took about an hour and a half. I didn't think it would take that long. But getting that tray out of the way was a bit of a bear. Now that we've got it done, I'm glad I did it. Probably saved about $200-300. And the part, I was surprised. I was looking at ordering it online, and it was going to cost me $50 plus shipping here in Canada. At the Ford dealership, it cost me $20 and change plus tax, so about $23.